As freelance copywriters, most of us had the milestone of hitting six figures a year at least once in our life, okay? And whether you still have it or maybe it's something that you're looking forward to in the future, I want you to stick around for today's video, because what I'm going to give you today is the five-step process to becoming a six-figure copywriter. And what I mean by five-step process is what you actually need to do to actually become a six-figure copywriter. So this is going to be a pretty boring video, to be quite honest with you. We're going to share a lot of technical stuff. So if this is not the best place to get entertained by bold claims and Lamborghinis, unfortunately. Um, but if you still feel like you want to get to six figures and you want to hear how you can do it consistently and predictably, then you should stick around for this video, because we're going to cover that, okay? If you don't know who I am, my name is Dennis. I'm the founder at Six Figure Copywriters. You can Google us. It's going to show up as the first result in Google. We are basically building a done-for-you client acquisition system for freelance copywriters, where we do the outreach for them and we get them the clients, okay? Because I know that's the hardest part. So we're making it easy for you guys, where you don't have to do any of that yourself. You just write and live your life happily, okay? So without anything further to do, let's get right into it, okay? So one thing that I want you to understand before we kind of get into the technicals and the step-by-step, guys, is that the main reason for failure as a copywriter is simply the fact that you are overcomplicating things, right? And that's the reality. And the more information you get and the more different strategies you hear, and the more clutter adds up in your brain, right? And the more platforms you try and the more niches you try, like the more clutter adds up in your brain. And that is how brain fog is born. Okay, and I know every single one of you, and me as well, like we have dealt with brain fog at least once in our lives. Okay, brain fog is that feeling when you don't know what to do. You want to do something, but you don't know what to do or how to do it. Okay, and what's funny is that brain fog gets created not because you don't know what to do. It gets created because you know too much of what you need to do, but you just can't act on it, right? And you become information addicted, and your brain gets its dopamine from learning stuff, but never gets its dopamine from actually doing the stuff. So that's why you're stuck in a rat race, looking at courses and buying programs that you don't even need, and you end up nowhere. That's why you've been doing this for a few months, or maybe I know people doing this for a few years, and you never get to the point where you actually want to get. It's because you have wired your brain to be addicted to information, and you are overcomplicating things, okay? What I want to give you today is a step-by-step process, 5 steps on how you can actually become a six-figure copywriter, okay? But what I want you to do and what I want you to commit to is actually getting rid of all of the other information you have so far and just taking this approach with a blank slate mindset, okay? Like this is your first time hearing about copywriting and growing your business as a copywriter, and you're going to do just this without going anywhere else for information, okay? That's how I want you to view this, because that's important. So now let's go over the 5 steps which I've laid out right here of how you can actually become a six-figure copywriter, okay? And this actually, guys, I'm not going to give you any magic script. I'm not going to give you any magic platform where you will find customers just waving their credit cards waiting for copywriters, because there isn't such thing, okay? But what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you the fundamentals you need to understand and you need to implement to actually get there, okay? So step number 1, very important. I want you to identify, no matter what you're doing right now, maybe you have this already. So if you have this already, you should still listen. But first step is identify an offer that can easily be sold for 4 figures a month, okay? Stop selling $400 packages. Stop selling copy by piece. So charging like per blog and only selling like one blog, because that isn't going to get you anywhere and it's not going to serve you or your goal, okay? Or that company, because nobody gets actual tangible results from one email or 2 emails or one blog, okay? In order for you to actually deliver results to a company, you need to do a bit of groundwork, right? And that groundwork isn't going to be done through a single email that you get paid $200 for, okay? You probably don't even want to write it. The fact of the matter is, a good offer with an average marketing plan will do well, but an average offer with the fact of the matter is, a good offer with an average marketing plan will do well, but an average offer with a good marketing plan will fail, right? And why is this? Because a good offer, like it's going to sell. Okay. No matter what you do, no matter what your strategy is, it is going to sell. You don't need to overcomplicate things, right? And if we read what HubSpot has to say, in marketing, offers are the gateways to lead gen. Without them, site visitors would have no way of getting converted into leads. They're also a critical tool for nurturing existing leads into a position that makes them more sales ready. Okay. If you think about it, if you go on a website, right, and you don't see any appealing product in there, are you actually going to buy something just for the sake of it? No, you're not. But if you go on a website and somebody gives you exactly what you need and what you've been looking for, that's why you're going to act with urgency and buy it right now. Okay. That's the difference between decisions people take on the spot, and that's what you're looking for as a copywriter and as, someone doing sales for their own business. That's the difference between that and people shopping around. Okay, nobody's going to shop around if they have exactly what they need in their life at that point in front of them. Okay, so um, in order to come up with a good offer, on what people actually need, you need to innovate a little bit as well. Okay. And yes, that is hard, and that is why most people are not successful. Okay. So you need to identify what that people want. Okay. So what that person actually wants to get as an end result, not as a vehicle. Okay. Because the vehicle is copywriting. We already know that. But what do these people actually want? Do they want more sales? Do they want more customer interactions? Do they want more users for their platform? Do they want more um, revenue without investing in ads? Okay, what do they want? Figure that out and position that as an offer. Okay, but it's not enough to only do that, because these days, I swear to God, with all of these free courses and stuff, like, people got really good at finding out how to copy others. Okay, and if you don't innovate in a way that's unique a little bit, you're gonna get copied, or you might just end up copying someone else, or you might just end up doing your own thing. But guess what? When you go to the marketplace, you realize that there's 10,000 other people doing the same thing. Okay. The realistic expectation when starting in business or as a freelancer, and you have no pre-existing leverage, right? So maybe word of mouth or network potential, you need to have no expectations. Okay. Right. And you need to make sure that you have an offer good enough to get strangers to stop from what they're doing, get you out of the spam inbox, reply to you, fill out a form, book a call, and spend 45 minutes with you, because that is very hard in today's day and age. Okay. Um, if you have word of mouth, right? So you work for a company and now you have colleagues that can refer you. If you have referrals from your family, from your friends, from other businesses you've worked with, then you don't necessarily need a very good offer. Okay. Um, but let me tell you this, an offer that will sell to referrals and word of mouth is not going to sell also to a cold audience. And when shit hits the fan and you have no more referrals and you have no mommy and daddy's help and you have no more word of mouth from existing clients, guess what's going to happen? That offer is not going to work for cold leads. Okay. But if you actually spend the time and dedicate the effort to build an offer that's going to convert on cold leads, that offer is still going to convert on warm leads as well, and like referrals and word of mouth. Okay, so you have no reason why to optimize just for referrals and word of mouth. There's no reason in the world why you want to do that. If you want to do that, you might as well just, I don't know, that's not safe at all, right? You might as well just go and randomly apply on Upwork, right? Because I mean, that's the reality. I know people that have gone 5, 10, 15 years only relying on referrals, and yes, that can happen, but that is not a realistic expectation. Okay, it's not the 1990s anymore. Everybody's doing copywriting, so you have to stand out. You have to convert on cold traffic, otherwise you're gonna be screwed. Okay. It sounds harder than it actually is, and I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's a mandatory step if you actually want to make it work. Okay, because what most of you are, okay, no offense here, I'm just trying to make common sense for you guys. Okay, but most of you are a bit delusional. Okay, and what delusional means is characterized by holding a false belief or judgment about external reality that is held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary. Okay, so of course, like, no one is delusional to the point of like medical conditions, right? But what I'm saying here is that the market got so saturated that you are actually seeing what other people are doing, and instead of trying to innovate, we just copy each other, because that's what the gurus told us, right? Success leaves clues. You can just copy what others are doing successfully, right? No, you can't, because you don't have the fucking 50,000 followers on Instagram. You don't have the fucking portfolio working with Google and Apple and Ford, and you don't have the fucking leverage to do that. Okay, so Stop copying what A-listers do, because you're not an A-lister. You have to understand your position in the game and you have to iterate, okay? And I can promise you, okay, and you can come back to me and you can disagree with me if you have a valid reason, but 95% of the time when you are starting out, you are competing with a big chunk of people and you need to innovate, because that's how you get out of the trenches into the big player league, okay, where you don't need this stuff anymore, okay? So instead of being delusional and just trying to copy something that it seems like it's working, but you know it's not working, and you know it doesn't work because you see so many people fail with it, but you just do it anyways because that's what they told you, okay? That's what I'm referring to here. Unless you get rid of that, then you're in trouble, okay? Because let me ask you this, okay? How many times have you, I write compelling copy that readers actually want to read? I will increase your sales or conversion by while writing optimized copy. I am a freelance copywriter. I serve business coaches and consultants and help them get more money from their email list, okay? This is market saturation 101, okay? And you have to understand this because I know you've seen this quite a lot of times, okay? In ecology, carrying capacity refers to the maximum number of individuals of a particular species, right? Let's take this example, right? The ecology, just us as human beings and as a species, okay? So when a population grows too large, okay, resources such as food, water, and shelter become scarce, leading to increased competition among individuals. As a result, the growth rate slows down and the population may even decline due to resource depletion. What this means is that 20 years ago, you could just go and market yourself as a copywriter and people would come to you because that was something that everybody needed, but the supply wasn't that big, okay? Supply and demand. Nowadays, the supply is so high and the demand is so low that the competition is high among resources, which is you and the other copywriters, and the population, which is the client, always decline because they have enough, okay? That is market saturation one-on-one. Unfortunately, again, sorry to break it to you, but in 2024, that's what happens with most online businesses because everybody and their mother now is an online entrepreneur. And you just have to, you just have to deal with it, right? And I'm showing you right now how to deal with it, okay? So just pay attention. Now, how to build an offer one-on-one? How do we, okay, Dennis, so I understand now, okay? I don't want to be one of the other guys. So how do I differentiate myself, okay? Listen up. This is how you build an offer, okay? What I want you to do, instead of looking at crap YouTube videos, okay, spend a few days searching the web on places like Reddit, Quora, Facebook groups, in your ideal target, whether that's health companies, business consultants, info product owners, finance industry, investment banking, okay, whatever your industry is, and spend a few days doing research and identify what the market desires on top of just words, okay? Words and copywriting is just the mechanism, okay? You need to identify what their destination is, what their end goal is, okay? Or if you have existing knowledge, use your common sense. Did your father run a healthcare business for 25 years? Go have a chat with him. Is your mother a lawyer and you want to serve lawyers? Go have a chat with your mother. Find out what they want, okay? I know for a fact from my mother that accountants just want like more free time because they're all the time stressed looking at the numbers and looking at the papers, and they have like shithead clients all day long. I know that from my mom, right? So if I were to write for an accounting firm, I would market it as a way to just save more time from the day-to-day activities, right? And help them out with that. So after you do this, figure out a package that can solve all of their problems and price it high, okay? In my case, right, so if I want to save time for someone, I can just offer them the option to build their automations, right? Their email automations, SMS automations, transactional emails, their drafts, their contracts, and everything else, right? Just as an example, okay? That's a perfect package. But maybe if someone wants more sales, like most businesses, maybe you can think of the fact that, hey, what do e-commerce companies have? They have email lists, okay? They want to what do e-commerce companies want? They want more retention, I'm telling you, okay? So I'm just giving you the fast track here, okay? E-com companies, they don't necessarily want more clients. They want more retention because it costs less to market to the same people than it costs to get new people through the door. Okay, does that make sense? Basic business economics here. So instead of trying to push a sales angle, push a retention angle. Okay, so hey man, I'm gonna write to your list, build this thing for you, build this content plan for you, and I'm gonna write the newsletters, and I'm gonna make sure to treat your existing customers well, so that we can increase retention. Okay, and that's what email marketers do with email marketing. Okay. So figure out a package that can solve the problems and price it high, and then make a bold promise or claim and collect feedback from your clients until your offer is in the sweet spot. Okay, what you want to do is you always want to go bold. Okay, always promise more than you know you can deliver, because you would be surprised what you can do as a human being when you are put under pressure. Okay, you might want to go the safe route and just promise them, let's say I'm going to make you an extra 20K a month in sales from emails. But how the hell will you be able ever in your life to see if you actually would have been able to bring them 100K if you don't have any incentive to do so? Okay, it might happen, you might be lucky, but most of you guys, what you need to do is you need to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. Okay, you need to promise more than you know you can deliver, because you need to push your limits. What is going to be the worst thing that can happen? You have to refund the client. So what? Amazon has to refund hundreds of thousands of orders every single day, and they don't complain. Okay, so don't complain. You have to refund the client. Okay, just go bold, make a bold offer, see where your limit is, because unless you go super bold, you will not know where your limit is. Okay, and after you figure out your limit, iterate from there, and now you have a realistic outcome that is also great, because if you're good at what you do, it's going to be better than the average results people get, and now you have a great offer. Okay, and this is the sweet spot, guys. Okay, so your offer needs to be achievable. Okay, so for you specifically achievable, because you can't spend like 48 hours a day working, because you don't have that. So it needs to be achievable. It needs to be realistic, and this is only an outcome you will find out after screwing up a few accounts. That's the reality. If you're a beginner, if you already have data and you already know what you can do, just be a bit bolder until you can't do it anymore. And it needs to be expensive. Okay, if your solution to their problem is not expensive, then you might as well just not do it. Okay, if you can't charge $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $20,000 for what you're doing as a copywriter, then you might want to reevaluate this. Okay, the market you're in, and the kind of offer and the kind of package you can put together, because I promise you, in every single market there is a package you can at least sell for 4 figures. Okay, and the more money you can charge for a client, the less headaches you're gonna have. Okay, so that being said, this is step number 1. Okay, so identify the offer. Step number 2, I want you to identify a channel where you know customers spend time. Okay, I don't know what happened here. Where your customers spend time. So I would say that you need to test 2 to 3 channels to figure out which one works best, because the reality is it varies based on niche and offer. Okay, one niche / offer combo might crush it with cold calling, another one could get you 0 results. Okay, for us, LinkedIn works really well. Cold calling didn't work. Okay, we tested it, it didn't work, that's it, end of story. Okay, but LinkedIn works like a charm. On the other hand, I have a friend in another niche, in another industry, cold calling is crushing it for him, but when he got on LinkedIn, he only got rejection. Okay, as I said here, right? So it doesn't really make sense why, to be honest, because at the end of the day, you're speaking with the same people and you're pitching the same thing, but it is what it is. I mean, that's just how God created the world. We just have to deal with it, right? But what I want you to do is just figure out logically where these people spend their time, and also look at data. Okay, you can ask ChatGPT, right? So I asked him, on which social media platform are there the most fitness coaches and trainers? And it looked up 6 websites for me, and it identified that the best place for these guys is Instagram. So then what I want to do is I want to jump on Instagram. Same thing, lawyers. Okay, best platform, LinkedIn. Okay, not around 83% of law firms use LinkedIn. Okay, so 80% of all of the people around the world that you're trying to reach out to are on LinkedIn. So what are you doing on Facebook? What are you doing on Upwork? What are you doing on Instagram? Okay, that's my question. Now, after we identify the platform, which was step 2, okay, this is pretty simple, pretty easy. Step number 3 is you want to come up with a unique outreach angle, okay? But that is also volume adjustable, okay? I don't want you to come up with a fancy, overcomplicated outreach strategy if you can't send it at big volume. Because fact of the matter is, even no matter how good your message is and how good your outreach strategy is, you will still need volume if you want to do something in today's market, okay? Your message needs to spark curiosity if you want to get people's attention, or your script if you're doing cold calling instead of the message. And there are just a few main things that do this, okay? So a few things that spark curiosity are industry authority, okay? So if you've ever worked on a very big account like Google or like Ford, like McDonald's, or like anyone in the industry that you know is a big company, That's going to create authority. Because if you are in the tech space and you work with HubSpot and Zapier, who the heck doesn't know those companies as tech founders, right? So they're going to respect you because you work there already, okay? Number two is a crazy result, okay? So let's say you got a career coach, 24 sales calls in a single week from your emails. That's going to spark curiosity because that's tangible, okay? So if you have that, you might as well just leverage it with your outreach process. Or number three is something new, okay? And this is the hardest one, and I don't want you to focus on this one because it's very hard to reinvent the wheel. But an example could be I can integrate AI chatbots to save 30 to 40K in overhead on customer support representatives, okay? You're still doing copywriting. You're still writing the words. You're still calling yourself a wordsmith. But how does this sound compared to I'm going to write your chatbot copy? How does this sound, right? Right here, you could have identified that a lot of e-com companies are spending a lot of money on customer support representatives and they can't scale their customer support department. I'm a copywriter. I can write. I know how to deal with it, okay? What I can do is I can write these chatbots. But what do these people want? They want less headache, more money. I can save you 30 to 40K a year in overhead without dealing with CSRs anymore. This is it. This is how we turn a basic idea, which is still going to be you writing a goddamn chatbot, into an offer that someone is actually going to reply to you for, okay? Take advice, please. In terms of what you have available, from these three outcomes here, choose your poison and give it a shot, okay? All three of these things are innovation and leverage, so use these, okay? If you have an authority, this is the best one, and you can combine that with the crazy result, and it's even better, right? So if you can mention that you got X career coach that is known in the space, this result, that's even better, okay? If you don't have anything and you're just getting started, just figure out what a crazy but realistic result is and make that bold claim, okay? So this doesn't necessarily have to happen for you. You can also like make this out of the top of your head based on the data you have, okay? Don't go nuts with it. Don't promise $1 million in 30 days, but make something that's a bit bolder than what you've seen in the market, okay? If you have the results, but your clients are no names or signed NDAs with you, just use the numbers and mention that it was a similar company, okay? So, hey, I recently got a similar company to yours, X, Y, Z result, okay? That also works really good. And if you have something new that you found out the market needs and there aren't many people doing it, you don't even need a result or authority, okay? If you are smart enough to identify stuff like this, like I did right here, you don't even need these two things, okay? Just run with this and you will get a shit ton of clients, okay? People will automatically want it, okay? Imagine how many people wanted to get on TikTok and TikTok ads when TikTok showed up. You can just run around with a t-shirt saying I run TikTok ads, and you would fucking have restaurant owners come at you and, you know, asking you if you can do their ads as well. That's how you need to be if you want to be in this third category right here, okay? Now, I hope you are like, you're not going to all copy this offer. I mean, if you want to do it, just do it because I'm not doing this myself or anything. So feel free to take it. But okay, I want you to do this yourself because it's important that you have the skill to identify stuff like this, okay? Don't be just another copycat again, okay? I'm asking you. But yeah, that was step number 3. Now, step number 4 is reverse engineer the goal and set a non-negotiable plan, okay? The more you base your decisions on data, the easier the goals becomes to achieve, okay? And what I found on Quora is that here are some key impacts of data quality on data analysis. Accuracy of insights. High quality data leads to more accurate insights and conclusions. Reliable data ensures that analysis outcomes are based on correct and valid information, reducing the risk of drawing incorrect conclusions, okay? So what I want you to take away from this, guys, is that the more data you have in terms of people you work with, in terms of offer you've seen in the market, in terms of problems you identified in Reddit groups for that business owners, in terms of what people are telling you on the sales calls, in terms of how your numbers look like, okay? All of this data, you should store it somewhere, okay? In a Google Doc, in notes, in a notebook, wherever you want to store it, just store it. Because I'm telling you, 2 months later down the road, you can open up your notes, you can read through all of the data, and you will take a way better decision than just basing it off some random dude on YouTube, okay, or on Facebook that's telling you that Instagram is crushing it. Send Loom videos on Instagram, or run paid ads because it's better, right? Or go on Facebook groups and share value, right? Because at the end of the day, if you've been following me, okay, here for the last 24 minutes, you realize that this is all about actually being innovative and customizing everything to your situation, because all strategies work. Okay, so I want you to get your data, and I want you to base your decisions off that. Okay, reverse engineering is easy. Okay, let's give you an example. If you know that you're, let's say, like let's say you do this for 3 months, and you just to collect data. Okay, I want you to do this for a few months just with the purpose of collecting data. Okay, and let's say you have at least a 0.5 booking rate on cold DMs and a 10% closing rate on these sales calls. Your goal is 10K a month and your package is 2K a month. Then that's easy. If you want to get 5 clients at 2K a month, you need 50 qualified sales calls to show up. So let's say you need to book 70 to 80 total, okay? Because you will have tire kickers. In order to book those 70 to 80 calls in total, you will need to send about 14,000 to 16,000 cold DMs to potential clients, okay? Based on your 0.5% booking rate. If you want to get there in 5 months, which is a fucking realistic outcome, not 30 days, then you need 2,800 to 3,000 outreaches sent per month. That's 100 per day, more or less. Just get 3 Facebook accounts, send 30 messages per day from each account, right? Or send 50 messages a day from 2 LinkedIn accounts, get yours and your wife's, get yours and your partners, get yours and your mothers or whatever. Send 50 messages from one, 50 messages from the other, and you have 100 outreach a day, okay? And if you want to do cold calling, just get a phone number and a lead list of 14,000 people and just dial 100 people a day, okay? Stop overcomplicating and just do the work. Identify the offer, identify the platform, okay? Collect the data, find out what actually works, and then just reverse engineer and double down on what needs to be done, okay? Disclaimer, all strategies work and you don't necessarily need to do cold outbound. I just gave you an example, okay? You don't need to run with my LinkedIn strategy or whatever. But no matter what strategy you use, you need to track your data so you can do stuff like this, okay? And then last step, which is step number 5, actually do it, okay? Like actually put in the work and don't slack on it. If you know you need to send 100 messages a day per day for the next 3 months, then do it, okay? Don't ask yourself why you haven't achieved that if you didn't do it. If you find that's too hard, now you can work with someone like us, okay? So just go to the link below in the description and figure out what we do, because we do all of this stuff for you, okay? But no matter if you work with us or not, you have to do it, okay? Last time you tried something and you failed, if you look back at it and you analyze the data, as I showed you, okay, it wasn't because of the strategy, most likely. It was because of you, your inconsistency, your lack of collecting data, your lack at looking at data and iterating on it, okay? And even if you feel like it is because of something else, you should always try to put the blame on you first, and you will make way better decisions about what to do, okay? Even if it wasn't your fault, just pretend like it was your fault, and you will actually take the right decision. I promise you, okay? This is boring advice, guys. But again, if it is what actually works, okay? There's no secret Instagram video script that will magically make your clients want what you have just because you said those exact words, okay? That's all BS. Next time you hear a guru saying, say these exact words and you will land the client, shut the phone off and throw it out the window, because that's not happening, okay? In order to win, you need to be innovative. You need to have a better or new angle, and you need your own charisma as well, okay? And being professional. Without charisma, without having a personality, you're still gonna make it, okay? But it's gonna be a bit harder, okay? You can have a blank profile picture or send like fucking shirtless videos to people on Instagram saying, yo, what's up? I just want to write your emails, right? And you expect them to get back to you if they are actually serious business owners. I wouldn't get back to you, okay? So stop doing that, okay? Just do what I said here. Don't focus on anything else and be professional, okay? Or not doing your research. Do you know how many times I've had people outreaching me as I'm a copywriter, just because my profile says 6-figure copywriters? Just because they didn't spend 2 seconds realizing what I do, and they just mindlessly read the word copywriters on my profile. Okay, now this is what you're competing with. The bad thing is that business owners are getting pissed off by these people and they build resilience. The good thing is that this is your fucking competition. I mean, if you have common sense, you're going to be better than that person, okay? So what I want you to understand, just to kind of wrap things up, the game isn't for everyone, and you need to have at least common sense. And if you've been going through these facts right here and you understand what I'm saying and you are following and you're on the right path, then you have common sense, okay? So if you want this to work, just implement this, okay? Figure out the offer, okay? Identify the channel, come up with a unique angle that's also volume efficient, reverse engineer your goal, okay? Do the outreach for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, look back at the data without no expectation of you actually closing a client, reverse engineer the goal, Find out how to do it and actually do it. Okay? And I promise you, you will, even if you're not going to hit your goal, okay? Because nobody hits their goal 100%. Okay? You still have a 50-50 chance that you're either going to fail or going to hit your goal. But I promise you, with a hand on my heart, that you will be closer to the goal that you've ever been in your life if you follow these fucking steps right here. Okay? So, with that being said, guys, I'm out. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. I did enjoy recording this a lot. I might not even post this on YouTube. I might just send it to my private clients. But if you've enjoyed this, let's stay in touch. And you should watch more stuff. If I decide to post this on YouTube, you should watch more stuff. And you should subscribe to my channel because I post real stuff like this 2 times a week. Okay? So with that being said, I'll see you soon. Peace.